War of the Ring is a real-time strategy based in, obviously, the Lord of the Rings universe. One of the things that we really tried to bring to this game was a feeling of lush environment, a feeling of incredible detail. Tolkien is really, really, a very detail-based universe, and so we've tried to bring a lushness and an authenticity of environment that you haven't seen before into a real-time strategy. We've also, in the case of the story, it's a single-player storyline. We've tried to bring in a lot of story elements. We've tried to bring in a lot of developed characters and a lot of developed units. All of the units in this game really important. They have incredible abilities. They have specific uses. One of the, Mike's actually showing you one of our story elements in Mirkwood here, where you have to save the rangers from the spiders. He's actually going to take you down in there, and we're actually going to show you some kind of gestating spider eggs, and we're going to show you some other cool stuff. The archers are pretty accurate and pretty deadly, so the spiders are going to die pretty quickly. But I think you're going to get the idea. In the final game, it'll actually be a little more challenging than what you're seeing here. In terms of environment, the other things that we're doing are we have some incredible abilities
on the way
Thanks to our friends at the graphics cards makers, we have some water that's dynamically rippling. We have some environmentally mapped stuff. We have the ability to reflect. We have movement in the grass, in the trees, in the bushes. Legolas is a hero. He has some of the abilities to. He has an ability to kind of knock guys off into the water. So we have a lot of great thought put behind every single one of the units. Every single one of the units and unit types is incredibly important. From Gollum to the orc slashers that are running in different rates and paces, to the rangers that you see here, to Legolas, to the archers who are camouflaged when they're standing still. Every single unit matters in this game. Every single unit is much more dynamically interesting than other games where it's just kind of hordes of units being thrown against each other and none of them really matter. So hopefully what you're getting here is the concept that we're really putting a lot of detail into everything that we do. We're putting a lot of detail into the units, we're putting a lot of detail into the environments, and just to show you some more of that stuff, of course we have base building, we have the ability to kind of grow our war camps into full-blown production centers. Probably the greatest liberty we're taking with the Tolkien license is in this department, but very little in terms of how those guys get their supplies is ever dealt with in the books. So we kind of had to come up with what system they would use in order to get the supplies and get the armies out onto the battlefield. So one of the things we're bringing to the game is, in an effort to show some really dynamic systems and really kind of immerse you in the world. We have a grass system which actually has every blade of grass in the grassland. You see that the grass is actually being bent down and pushed down by the units. That grass is also affected by a wind model, which you can see affecting it, and you can see the waves of it. It's also being affected by things that run through it. In addition to that, the wind model also impacts the water by creating more or less ripples. It also impacts our claw system. We have a claw system in the game that can be used for flags, can be used for capes, can be used for just about anything we want to use it for. And all of that is affected by the wind model. In addition to that, we have some summonable big heavy-hitting units like the Balrog. All of the units, again, very unique, very individual. The Balrog is one of the evil units that you can summon on the evil side. He's obviously a really badass. He's going to be able to do a number of really awesome abilities. He has a number of really awesome abilities, from his whip to a fire sword to the ability to kind of knock units back in an area around him. Currently, we're probably, I would say, a little more than halfway done with this game. We're planning on shipping at the end of the year, and we look really good. We're really on target. Almost all the code is done. Almost all the art is done. We're just building content. So we should be right on target for the end of this year. You should get it right in time to play it right before the Return of the King movie. It'll be awesome. You'll really have a great time with it.